So today we're talking about how to build lean muscle. Hi, my name is Denver and I'm a sports nutritionist, certified strength and conditioning specialist, and almost dietitian. I'm making this video to save you a hell of a lot of time because there is no such thing as lean muscle versus this type of bulky muscle that a lot of people refer to. Muscle is muscle, and that's the most important thing that you have to know. If you want the look of being lean and toned, then you have to build muscle first. Once you have enough muscle, you've built enough muscle, you can then lose body fat in order to see the muscle definition. Or you can do both at the same time in some cases, but where most of you go wrong is thinking that you need to eat as little as possible while doing a million reps of super lightweight. So how do we do this the right way? We need to focus on building muscle. If you have been dieting for what seems like a lifetime, this is especially important for you so that you can give your metabolism a chance to kind of revive itself. So how do we build muscle and rev up our metabolic engine? Step one is going to be all about resistance training. We need to create enough mechanical tension through resistance training that is progressive over time, meaning you need to gradually add more resistance to your body over time by either increasing the weights, adding sets, going close to failure in your reps, or adding tempo to your movements, which is going to create more tension. If you're brand new to exercise, you can pretty much do any type of workout and it's going to create enough stimulus to your body in order to change. But the more advanced you become, the more you will have to progress to bigger weights and more intelligent programming in order to get those results that you want. If you've been doing random Instagram workouts for years, I was one of them, this is probably you. And you would really benefit from following some type of periodized program. Step two is going to be to eat enough calories and protein. Technically, you need to eat more calories than you expend to put you in an anabolic state so that you can grow muscle. But this only becomes more important to focus on once you get more advanced in your training and nutrition and you've kind of hit a plateau. However, it is possible to build muscle and lose fat at the same time in some instances. If you're new to resistance training or have taken time off from the gym from either taking a life break or you've maybe had an injury, this is where you can more easily body recomp, which is the building muscle, losing fat kind of phenomenon. And this is what we call body recomposition. To do this successfully, you need to eat in a small calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is eating less calories than what you expend in energy, and this is going to be around 200 to 300 calories below your maintenance level. I even recommend eating at maintenance in some cases where you can still end up seeing these type of changes. So if you thought that starving yourself is the key to getting the physique that you want, don't worry, I've been in your exact shoes before, and it can be very confusing at first when you're first starting your fitness journey and you're conflicted between, do I diet and eat as little as possible? This is kind of the message that diet culture promotes, and you're fearing all these different foods and you think there's only one specific way in order to achieve this. And then you end up finding people like me who are more flexible in their approach, and they help you really prioritize your life first and then these kind of more aesthetic goals. The most important reason why we need to eat enough calories is because muscle is very energy demanding. It takes a lot of energy, which is in the form of calories, in order to maintain that muscle, to build that muscle, to repair that muscle. Everything revolving muscle takes a lot of energy, which is why it's so important that we need to prioritize that, and why eating as little as possible just isn't going to benefit you. In order to calculate your maintenance calories, it's going to be based majority on your height, your weight, your gender, and your activity level. So there's a calculator that I like to use. It's online. It uses the Harris-Benedict formula, which is pretty good for the basic population. And so that's where you can figure that out. In addition to enough calories, you need to make sure that there are enough calories from protein specifically. And this is because protein is super important in order to stimulate that muscle growth, in order to repair the muscles, rebuild them, and all the other metabolic functions that protein is needed for. Enough protein means you're eating 0.1 to 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. So I weigh 170 pounds, and that means the range for me is going to be anywhere from 136 grams of protein per day to 170. You may be thinking, well, do I need to track all of these calories and protein then? And speaking for long-term instances, no, you're not going to be tracking forever, but I am a fan of tracking in the beginning if you have no idea what your food comprises of, because it is a tool where you can learn about your food, so that way you can make more educated decisions in the future and you don't have to solely go off of the calorie tracker or just making blind choices. I know that tracking gets a bad rap, but it really is just a tool to learn more about your food, you know, how many calories it has. Some foods have have more calories than others. Some foods have more protein than others than you might expect. And it's very helpful to learn about these things so that you can make the best decisions for yourself in the future. There's no need to take it to the extreme. So lean muscle is simply muscle that has been built and enough body fat has been lost in order to see the muscle definition. And this is what people like to call toned. It is no secret, there is no lean muscle versus bulky muscle. Muscle is muscle, and I really want to hone that in, because if you can understand that concept, you will never be fooled by these other, big marketing terms and these people trying to fool you with their fancy terminology. I also encourage you to add some performance goals in there. So that can either be, getting your first pull-up, that can be squatting a certain amount of weight, that can be getting a pistol squat. I know there's tons of different goals that you can set in the gym, but those can be very motivating for you to keep you going from session to session instead of solely focusing on this arbitrary aesthetic goal that you have in your mind. And achieving the leanest physique isn't necessarily healthiest for you. Aesthetics really aren't a great motivator long term. This is kind of the general body recomp strategy that I recommend. This is what I'd recommend before going into a straight bulking phase or cutting phase. If you have any specific questions about this video or topics that I didn't cover, please drop them below. Also, like this video if you found it helpful. I like to explain the strategies and science behind changing your body because I think it can be cool to experiment and try different things. However, I'm a huge advocate for identifying your self-worth in other aspects of your life and not just your body, because I have been there before and it's not fun. You never end up finding what you're looking for when you're only striving for aesthetics and fitness and nutrition in order to make yourself happier or find some sort of acceptance from other people. The kind of acceptance that you're looking for truly does come from yourself, and that comes from working on yourself in other ways and not just how you look. All to say that yes, changing your body can be cool. I think muscles are awesome and I love to focus on that in the gym, but it's not the most important thing in my life, and I definitely now prioritize quality of life over only aesthetics and only becoming my leanest self. Changing your body is not going to magically make you more confident or happier. That is the main message that I like to portray in my content. So if you'd like to learn more about that concept and my philosophy around nutrition and fitness, go check out my other videos. And if you like this type of content, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!